So on paper, this looked like a show with real potential. A nice enough crowd, a bunch of familiar names, and even a steel cage match main event. But the deeper it went, the more obvious it became. Match after match just came and went. No spark, no real interesting stakes, just vibes. This show just wasn't underwhelming. It was a complete waste of time. So let's talk about how For the Culture 2025 faked it from start to finish. They had a crowd that wanted to react. They had names that could have drawn attention. They had a damn steel cage on the graphic. Now, For the Culture has carried meaning before. It meant something. Now, that type of something died a long time ago, before this show started. If you know, you know. But this was just branding slapped on a lineup with no direction. So let's start at the end. Zilla Fatu versus Josh Bishop in a steel cage match for the 4th rope heavyweight title. Now, this should have been a moment, but instead, it felt like two guys trapped in a booking sheet, playing pretend with stiff spots and no emotion. There was no real heat, nothing to really invest in, and yet Bishop got busted up real bad. But at the end of the day, this was really mid. This gets a 1.25 stars. The flyweight title battle royal. So this match had 21 people in it. From Tommy Dreamer, to Nick Nemeth, to Brian Keith, to AJ Francis, etc, etc, etc. And it still meant nothing. It was fine for what it was. Real 1-1 because sure, why not? But at the end of the day, I just didn't care for this. This gets 2.25 stars. The Hardys versus TNT for the 4th rope tag team titles. Now, TNT was Devon Dudley's sons, so right off the bat there was that nostalgic little glow to it. But when that bell rang, flat. Just flat. The Hardys won. No one looked particularly bad, but no one looked great either. It was just there. This gets 2.5 stars. Matt Riddle versus Gabe Kidd. Now, this could have been physical. This could have been wild, but instead, it was a limp. Gabe Kidd won, but this was just a whole bunch of nothing. This gets 1.5 stars. Mike Santana versus Raj Desi. Bro, it was just there. As expected. Who cares? This gets 2 stars. Moose versus Oni King. This was quick. Moose won, and that's it. This gets 1 star. Culture Inc. versus the Infantry in a street fight. Seeing as how this was a street fight, I was hoping for something. But even with all that, this was yet another undercooked mid matchup here. This gets 2.5 stars. Tiara James versus Maya World. This was barely a match. I pretty much have no idea what they was trying to do here. This gets 1 star. Haley J and Vix Crow versus Alexis Littlefoot and Masha Slamovich. Completely lifeless. Didn't care for any of this. This was horrid. This gets 3/4 star. So at this point, I was mentally checked out. Not really in anger, but just in boredom. But at least there was one match that had me going. Mustafa Ali versus Trevor Lee versus Leon Slater. So this match I thought had good pacing, some energy, and a few spots that had some life. But it was just good. Just good. This gets 3 stars. So this show had an atmosphere. It had name value. It had opportunity. But it never had the effort. Nothing really connected. Nothing really mattered. And by the end, it seems that even the crowd seemed to realize they've been sold a poster, not a product. This gets a 4.75 out of 10. Definitely not recommended. So did any match hit for you more than it did for me? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe, and share this video out with your friends. And for that, I'll see y'all later.